Hey guys, it's Derek from Blue Collar Chess. In today's video, I'm going to be doing just a couple puzzles from John Kabadayi's My Opponent's Moves, Recognizing Threats, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So, anyways, I don't mean to it's a long title, and I forget the name of the book. So it is good. I'm still in the first chapter though, so I don't have a full review of it. But let's just do a couple puzzles here. So the whole book is about recognizing threats that your opponent's trying to do. So here, obviously, it's going to be queen to h6 check. So once the king goes somewhere, I mean, honestly, you're going to have the knight to f6. So, yeah, what is the best way to deal with that? Probably knight to g8, I would think. All right, does that work? Then do you run into queen to g5, perhaps? Because the thing is you want to figure out how to protect that square. So I would say knight to g8 is probably the best move. Yeah, I'm just gonna play knight to g8, see what he says. Yeah, okay. So let's look at the. All right, how should black react against this move? Knight g8 equal. Parrying the strong threat of queen h6 check, followed by knight f6. The black knight covers those weak dark squares, h7, h5. Will kick the annoying knight on g4 soon, and the knight on g8 will regain activity after that. So what he's saying is that you have to defend for right now, and then your next couple moves will be kicking the knight to get rid of the threat. It makes a lot of sense. If you had played e5, it says this move ignores the threat completely, and it does, and you're going to be checkmated probably. The black king is going to be mated now, queen h6 check. Black ignored this strong threat generated by white's last move. So then after queen h6 check, goes king g8. I mean, that's just going to be it's going to be a knight f6 check, king h8, queen takes h7. So I think the other one would be this, and then you just have this, and there's no, and then you just have knight f6, and you're gonna lose anyways. So, all right, so let's go to the next one. Oh, I missed it. Hold on one sec. So puzzle number 2. How should black react against white's last move? So what's he threatening? He's threatening the fork. Is that the only threat? So sometimes when you're playing chess, you've got to ask yourself, is that the only threat? So is there a way to parry that? And so you can move your king. But, okay, so the way my brain works is I also see this potential knight to e4, right? Because it opens up the diagonal and the battery with your bishop and your queen. So can you just let go of your rook at that point? So yeah, so what happens if you do that? So you play knight e5, hit them both. Queen can go to, yeah, where's the queen go? Just queen would go to like d3 maybe, queen to d3, and then what's he gonna do? No, because then, well, yeah, because the knight's protected, so you do have that, and that. Yeah, I like that because it's active. What's your other move? The other move would be like queen to d8, I suppose, or d7. D7, you're blocking in your bishop, so probably d8. And what happens if you do that, though? Well, so then you've got, do you have queen a5 at that point? So king d8, queen a5, check, d6. You probably don't have anything there, so yeah. So I think king d8 is probably a decent move too. Seems somewhat passive, but I don't know. I really like knight to e4 rather. Knight e4, hitting the queen. He's got to do something with the queen. I mean that's first and foremost. And yeah, I think that's my move, guys. I think I'm gonna play knight to e4. Yeah. How should black react against white's last move, knight e4? Exploiting the drawback of white's last move instead of merely reacting to the threat of knight c7, white is collapsing on the b2 square now. White resigns. Jesus, is it really resignable? It didn't seem resignable to me, but I suppose it probably is. Not great. Oh, right. Because I was thinking the king was going to sneak out, but he's not going to sneak out because the knight is protecting the square. So I've been playing chess for a few months, so I am pretty rusty, actually, and I completely missed that. My board vision isn't gone, but it's kind of... at least come up with the right move anyways. Yeah, so... this was also a very good move, but the main move forces a resignation and hence is stronger. Yeah, see? So I felt the same way. I just felt like that move, 94, was a stronger move. So let's go to the next variation, do one more. Ooh, what's this? Okay, so what is going on here? How should white react against black's last move? I think he's got to bring his king in closer. Yeah, so probably king to f1, because if you don't want to go to the second rank, because he's going to push his pawn with check. So probably king to f1, because you're stopping the pawn. So and then if he goes to rook a3, you're just going to go to f2, and you're not going to take the pawn right away because you're going to want to protect your pawns. Because I mean, honestly, it very well could be a draw here, but anyways, I think I think king f1 is going to be the move in this particular case. Yeah, king f1. The only way to save the draw. Yeah. So white was forcing a big threat of rook a1 check, followed by d1 equals queen, and this idea is prevented now. g4, this would ignore the opponent's last move. So we'll take a look at see what he's saying. Yeah, so basically he's saying that now he's going to be able to check him and then push the pawn. So you're going to have to, he's going to force an exchange there. And yeah, so you're going to be a rook up. Black's going to be a rook up. So anyway, so yes, after king f7, then king e2, hit, yep, so this is the move. d1 check. Here, rook goes to a3, makes a lot of sense. Rook takes h5, rook takes g3. Yeah, this is going to be a draw. So anyways, yeah, I don't know, that one went by pretty quick. Let's see here. Level 1 for puzzle. Let's see here. So there's puzzle 4. What's going on here? How should white react against black's last move? Jeez, it's interesting. So I'm not seeing like a knockout thing. I'm seeing like, I mean, nothing even like kind of suggests that. I'm seeing knight to e5. You will trade bishops probably. You take, queen e5 check. I don't know. He's going to have to push c5 at some point too. No, queen e5 check doesn't work because of e4. But then you lose the pawn on. Yeah, you don't though because you're gonna. So I think the move he's trying to do is going to be c5. That's the absolute move. So probably b4 here is going to be the move is that you're going to want to play. Yeah, so I'm going to go with b4. If you see something. Yeah, so b4 here. Okay, so let's take a look. b4, exclamation point. Preventing the positional threat of c7, c5, and keeping the backward pawn on c7. Also, the weak c6 square has the potential to be exploited here. Like a knight or something can go there eventually. Rook f to d1. So we're going to look at some of the moves like he's saying like were kind of funky. Was rook f to d1, ignoring the opponent c5. And black achieves the positionally desirable break and gets rid of the weak pawn on c7 as well as a weak square on c6 while also activating the rook on c8. Knight b3 looks logical as it fights against c7, c5 as well, but black can execute that break anyways, either immediately or after bishop e4. Right, okay. Queen c3, c5, d takes c5, knight d7, and the c5 pawn will eventually be captured as the b3 knight is preventing b2, b4. Yep. Yeah, I don't think we need to look at that variation. We'll go back to b4, a5, which is what I was thinking. Probably rook to b1 maybe there. No, knight to e5 at that point. Yeah, threatening the... yeah, I think that's a pretty good move. And then bishop takes g2, king takes g2, a takes b4, knight to c6. You know, the harvest of preventing the break c7, c5. The weak square on c6 became a nice home for the knight now. Queen to d7, and a6 takes b4. And yeah, you can just leave your knight there because it's protected by the queen. It'll take him a while to actually threaten it, and by then you can just move it, you know. Yeah, so guys, this has been Derek with Blue Collar Chess. Really, when you're playing a game of chess, you do have to think about what your opponent's idea is and plans, and it's very important to do so. And this is a good book for that. I'm going to go back here just a little bit so I can tell you exactly what it's called. And keep going back here. Hold on one sec, guys. Probably can't see it. So anyways, it's called My Opponent's Move, Identifying Threats, Mistakes, and Misconceptions by Candidate Master John Kabadayi. I find this guy funny. I think he's one of the better coaches / content creators out there. But he gets kind of I don't know what the word is, but some people mispronounce his name because it's like John, but it's spelled like can, like CAN, and it's hard to even look at that and be like, oh, that's John. But anyways, John Kabadayi, very good book. Highly recommended to check it out. And yeah, this is Derek Blue Collar Chess. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit on the boring side, but gave you a few puzzles. And this book so far, from what I've looked at, is very, very good. And it's on that level where he's hitting that 13 to 1500 rated player. So, I mean, not 15, 13 to like 1800 rated player. I don't know why I said 15. But anyways, so it's a very good book. Highly recommend it. Course, rather. So, I mean, so far, if I get into it and it completely changes, maybe I'll have to do a, sorry about that kind of thing. But as it is, talk to you guys later.